How's everyone doing? It's your boy JG Domination, and I know what you're thinking. I simmed through the Pro Bowl and the Super Bowl. I was actually recording everything, but then I almost made the dumbest mistake on this franchise. I almost franchise tagged my 72 overall defensive end Marcus Smith. As a matter of fact, I almost hit the X button by accident, and I had to delete that recording because that was just way too embarrassing. I almost screwed up this entire franchise financially. But for the Pro Bowl, I'll just go ahead and tell you we had Michael Dixon, our punter, we had Rashard Penny as a kick returner, and we had Trey Madden, our fullback. So no other players made it. They didn't really get big time boost either. I thought they'd get like a development trait increase, get some more boost points, but they didn't really get anything. Rashard Penny's now an 80 with confidence. Trey Madden's a 73 with confidence, and Michael Dixon's like a 78 still, so nothing really happened. You would think they'd get more. And the Super Bowl, Philadelphia beat the Texans. They beat them 24-19, so we're all caught up there. That's my apologies. I almost screwed up this franchise by signing Marcus Smith to a damn near $12 million franchise tag. Let's go ahead and get started though, man. Austin Davis right here. We're going to start from the bottom and work our way up. Austin Davis was a solid backup for us. He played 2 games, and he had really good moments in both, and you cannot dispute the fact that he's 2-0 as a starter. Decent stats, man. Nothing too crazy. The throw power isn't ideal, but he plays good in the game, and he definitely did show out in those games when he needed to. I'm willing to give him a 2-year deal, but it's going to have to be a little cheaper. We'll see if he takes it. Yes, he does. That's a good offer, he says. Isaiah Battle. So this is another one of those players who got playing time kind of late. I like the impact blocking and the lead blocking, but overall, I mean, the strength is pretty low. The run blocking and pass blocking is kind of meh. And he's really not agile, and he really doesn't have a quick burst. You know, if he had to pull on a play for a counter or anything like that. So I think I'm going to say no on Isaiah Battle. I think I'm out, man. I'm out on Isaiah Battle. I'm not a fan. Joey Hunt, on the other hand. The strength is decent. Nothing to write home about. The run blocking is better. He's a better run blocker, that's for sure. A better acceleration than Isaiah Battle. I think Joey Hunt, he wants a 3-year deal. I'm willing to give him a 2-year deal, similar to Austin Davis. Alright, he's going to test free agency. That is fine with me. Alex Carter. I want to give him a 2-year deal worth $2 million, but first here are the stats, or the attributes I should say. A zone press corner scheme basically is what he would be ideal in, and this is basically what it is in Seattle. Better tackling than most corners. He can't catch at all, but a really good special team player, and when he does have to come onto the field, he does typically perform with the best of them. So I'm willing to give him a 2-year, $2 million contract. You know, I like what he does on the field, and that is a good offer. DJ Alexander, this is going to be an interesting one. A very fast linebacker, decent in zone coverage, I guess, but he can't rush the passer. He's a decent tackler. He's just a glorified special teamer. In this draft, I'm pretty sure we can get guys that could do that, but will they all be as fast as DJ Alexander? I don't know. So I'm going to try to offer a 1-year deal for 1.56. Alright, he's not interested. That's okay. Sorry to hear that. Brendan Jackson right here. So, you know, he's got decent speed. I do like the acceleration. The power move is pretty workable. The strength is nothing to write home about for a guy of his size, but I mean, he's decent. He's decent. That's all I can say. I'm not going to bring him back, though. I want to be honest. It's kind of underwhelming, and he really wasn't productive when he was on the field. And there were plenty of opportunities. You can't say there weren't, because there were a lot of injuries at the defensive end spot. But here we are. Marcus Smith, man. What a cool story it is for him. He was drafted pretty early by Philadelphia. They gave up on him after like a couple of seasons. He made his NFL quote unquote comeback with Seattle, and he's a good athlete, decent tackler. He's got decent strength and power moves, but he's a different type of defensive end though. He's more impactful as a run defender. I don't know, man. I'm gonna offer him a 1-year deal, but I can't offer him a 2-year deal. That's not happening. He wants to play for a new team. That's fine. This time I'm not gonna franchise tag him like I almost did accidentally. Right here we have Trey Madden. He just made the Pro Bowl. Absolutely, he's gonna get re-signed. I mean, you look at the speed, the trucking. He's got a little decent stiff arm going. He's a great lead blocker. And he's even, developed those hands a little bit in the receiving game. I don't know where his catching attribute is. Not that it matters. I'm just saying in the game he catches better than probably what the rating would give him. I'm definitely going to give him this deal, though, that he's looking for. I'm actually going to up the bonus. I'm going to give him almost a $6 million deal. The offer's perfect. Trey Madden, we appreciate it, brother. Shamar Stephen. 5-year player out of Connecticut. I mean, kind of a depth player at the end of the day. He didn't really get a whole lot of playing time. The defensive tackle spot was one of those positions I thought we were pretty solid at. Jaron Reed stepped it up big time towards the second half of the year. Nasir Jones got to pick his spots here and there. I mean, Shamar Stephen, he's decent. He's a decent depth guy. I think it's worth possibly bringing back, but not for almost $3 million a year. I think we can let him test the market. DJ Fluker, a veteran player, 28 years old. He's looking for a 3-year deal. I don't think I'm trying to dish out a 3-year deal, but I would like to give him a 2-year deal ideally, because he does have the confidence points. Without the confidence points, he's really not that good. But he was kind of all we had last year. The run blocking is definitely his strength. The impact blocking, he's pretty solid. He's a strong player, good acceleration, but I don't know, man. I feel like I'm gonna offer him a 2-year deal, but if he doesn't take it, he doesn't take it. Actually, hold on. I don't want to offer him that. I'm gonna offer him a $5.2 million deal. He's just not interested. I get it. It's tough. We have Byron Maxwell right here. Byron Maxwell was able to play some. He's just not as good anymore. He's a good special team player. Of course, he's got good strength. The speed is kind of meh at this point in his career. Not really strong at any coverage, but he is a scheme fit. He's a guy that does fit the scheme. He's a good veteran. He's a good special teamer. I think a 1-year deal will cut it with me, though. I do like him, and I think he has played well. But he doesn't want to re-sign for $2 million. Okay, good luck getting $2 million on the open market. How about Dante Johnson, man? I thought he was pretty solid when given the opportunity. The coverage stats aren't great on paper, but I like his speed. I like the fact that he's a better athlete, and I like the fact that, the more reps that he got, the better he played. I'm definitely liking a 2-year offer for him. So we'll offer him the base offer, and he takes it. I like Dante Johnson, man. He's the truth. No Paul Pierce. Of course, we got some other guys we have to sign. That's going to be interesting, but Justin Coleman is here. Kind of a meh type of season as a slot corner, I'm going to be honest. I think he's replaceable. I think a corner like Justin Coleman is replaceable. He's not the fastest guy in the world. He doesn't really fit the scheme fully. I mean, he's a good zone coverage corner. His press coverage is terrible. He's a little stronger than people give him credit for, but I don't think we should offer him. I don't think he's the right fit for this secondary. as a slot corner. I think we could find someone else. Mo Alexander, this is interesting. Tedrick Thompson left a really good impression. You know, when we're talking about like how the season progressed. Remember, Tedrick Thompson had to replace Maurice Alexander for those 2 games because we decided to sit him. And I thought Tedrick Thompson played so well that we could keep Alexander on the bench. And I think Tedrick Thompson's ready to go. So I'm going to say no to Maurice Alexander. J.D. McKissick, I mean, dude, this guy is so important to the team. He played really well. He's one of the best receiving backs across the league. I mean, just very productive. A quick burst of speed in the open field. I'm cool with offering him this 3-year deal. I think this is doable for me. But he wants to hit free agency. Wow, that kind of hurt, man. I like J.D. McKissick. Dion Jordan, he's 29 years old. My only issue with him is, you know, he's got the stats, right? Good block shedding, good finesse move, good speed. I don't know if he'll be good for 2 seasons, but I'm willing to offer him and make it to where I could possibly cut him the following year. And Dion Jordan doesn't want to sign. Okay, so some big players that they're not wanting to come back. Dwayne Brown, he's getting up there in age, but I think a 1-year deal will not hurt anything. I think a 1-year deal is pretty fair. And he's not interested. What's the franchise tag price? No thank you. Sebastian Janikowski, just stick around, man. Just stick around. You're one of the best kickers out there. Even though you've missed some big-time field goals, he doesn't even want to return. Well, you have to now. The franchise tag is, you know, franchise tag says otherwise. Biatch. But here we go. Frank Clark. This is a really cheap deal. Honestly, for a guy of his caliber, I really like what he brings to this team. Versatility as a pass rusher and a run stopper. I want him to improve on that block shedding, but man, I'm willing to give this guy the offer he's looking for and possibly even overpay. 4 years, $29 million. He wants to hit free agency. Frank Clark wants to hit free agency, and I tried to overpay for him. Tyler Lockett, throughout the season, we always hinted that he wanted a new contract, and I think he's done enough to earn himself a new contract. But let's see, man. I'm going to give him this offer right here, $38.5 million. And he's going to stick around. That's great. KJ Wright, he's 30 years old. He's going to start to regress. I'm good. I like Shaquem Griffin. Earl Thomas, he is 30, but he's one of the best players at the position. And I'm fine with what's his ideal contract? 4 years. Okay, 4 years. You got to give a player like Earl Thomas what he's looking for. I think it's that simple, and we do finally agree. And Mike Davis, he's a decent running back. I'm cool with giving him this deal. And he's going to stick around. So, that has been crazy. And you know what? Since we're at this re-signing point, I guess we'll go through free agency. But the draft is going to be a whole different video. Let me just go ahead and tell you. I am very, picky when it comes to the draft. But let's go ahead and just go to next week, man. This is interesting. Frank Clark is not on the team. Dion Jordan is not on the team. We gotta hire staff, man. We need some offers, man. We need to make some offers out here. So this guy is a trainer. It's okay, so we have a scout. So we have our trainer. We have our scout. Coaches. It's saying this dude signed with us. I don't recall ever signing him though. Did Pete Carroll die or something? Like, what happened? We still have Pete Carroll behind the computer, so I want to say everything's cool. We have $61 million to work with in cap space. We're actually sitting in a good position. Delaney Walker's the best free agent. That's pretty underwhelming. Trey Boston's here. That could be a good safety option at strong safety. We have Trevor Williams here, Kenny Vaccaro, Trent Brown at left or right tackle, I should say. Excuse me. This free agency kind of underwhelming at the same time. And wow, Frank Clark only has one offer. I think we can try to outbid. Ain't no way I'm outbidding Miami, man. They just go crazy for everyone. Let's just go down the list. We don't need a quarterback, so I'm not really concerned there. Running back, we're pretty much a running back by committee, and if J.D. McKissick doesn't want to come back, that's fine. He can sit on the open market. No big deal. Trey Madden, we're good. At wide receiver, no Brandon Marshall. He retired, so I think we can look into adding another receiver. We could bring in John Brown and pair him up with his brother Jerron Brown, so we can have two brother duos here, the Griffins and the Browns. I think that'd be pretty cool. Let's look at the stats first before I just throw out outlandish ideas. Solid stats all around. He's going to work the intermediate range, but he wants a 3-year deal at the age of 29. I don't think so. That ain't happening. Not in this lifetime or any other. Bruce Ellington, he's coming off a Pro Bowl season. Maybe I should bring him in. I'm just joking. I'm not bringing him in. This is interesting. This part of the rebuild is interesting. Ryan Grant could be an option. What's Ryan Grant's stats look like? Or his attributes? He has a hard time getting open. He's a good route runner, decent speed. Yeah, I don't see it happening. At tight end, we need a tight end. Ed Dixon is already regressing. I like our younger tight ends. I just don't think they're necessarily ready to take the next step. AJ Derby, the Pro Bowler himself, he's on the market. There's some good tight ends here, though. I will be honest. Jesse James is pretty enticing. He's 25 years old. Good speed, good catching. I mean, the route running's nothing crazy, but he can catch. At left tackle, man, Dwayne Brown is getting offers. Screw it. I got to get in on my guy, man. We're not just going to let him hit free agency and let someone else take him. We'll have to leapfrog some teams to get our dude back. So the Rams still have the highest bid. I'm guessing they had Andrew Whitworth retire, which that could be the case. We're gonna make an offer on him. Pochik, you know, I'm cool with. At right guard, I'm thinking about making an offer on Jack Mewhort. That just seems like a smart thing to do, but at the same time, man, people are going crazy over him. Jamon Brown, there's no market for him. Let's check out his stats. I mean, he's decent. Nothing too crazy. What about Trey Hopkins? Ugh. Not really. We could bring back J.R. Sweezy. He used to play with this team. Could be a little reunion. I don't think so. Not with those stats. At right tackle, I mean, let's be honest, man. Trent Brown, we could use the right tackle. He's a good pass blocker. The impact blocking is there. I'm gonna be honest, man. We might have to throw a massive offer at him if we want to bring him in. Wow. I mean, if that's only 107 points, that means the Redskins are going all in. I think we have to pass. mean, we could put the 81 point offer on the board. Seattle's slightly ahead, or not Seattle, New Orleans is slightly ahead. I guess we could put an 86 point offer. Left end, I want my boy Frank Clark back. I'm not going to let the Giants take him away from me. I want my dude back. And we're going to make sure that we have at least a decent enough offer to bring him back. 30.2 million. Yep, I think that's a good offer. I am going to look at other defensive ends too, man, because I really want to get some depth going on this defensive line. If you hear my voice starting to crack, I feel like I'm getting sick, low-key. I hope I'm not, but I feel like I am. I want to build some depth, but I'm not liking any of these guys in free agency. Chris Long is good, but he's a better fit with the Patriots than us anyway. At defensive tackle, I would like to add another defensive tackle. I think Eddie Goldman would be a good pickup. Al Woods, you know, he's a veteran. I'm going to look into Eddie Goldman, though. I want to see what his stats are looking like. Alright, not a great block shedder, but the power move is there. He's got good strength. Alright, what about Jordan Phillips? That's another guy I would like. At defensive tackle, what's he looking like? Ooh, not really that great. I remember he was hyped up when he came out. I mean, obviously he wasn't drafted high, but I remember people were making a big deal of him being a freak athlete. I am going to make a play on Eddie Goldman. I think this is an intriguing player to have on the roster. He's a good defensive tackle who's going to be able to stop the run. Will be able to wreak some havoc. At right end, we don't really have anyone right now. I would like to bring back Deion Jordan. That would be the ideal move, is to bring him back. But I am going to look into Coney Ealy. I'm going to be honest. He's a decent athlete. The block shedding just isn't there, man. It's just not there. Vinny Curry looks like a fit. What about Randy Gregory? I mean, we've been able to save some careers, so why not? I think this is a pretty fun signing. Plus, he is a true scheme fit as a speed rusher. Let's give him an offer, man. Why not? Let's make this happen. A reunion, potentially, with Cliff Averill. We can try to make this happen, too. He is a true scheme fit as a speed rusher, so we could look to bring him in. I'm liking it, man. We could definitely add some depth along the linebacking core. So we have Joshua Perry and Damian Wilson. I'm going to look into Joshua Perry. He's got decent speed. The block shedding's good. He doesn't have a go-to move. The tackling's good. The strength is alright. And the zone coverage is kind of meh. But I mean, for 2 years, this is a pretty decent player to have. I'm going to give him an offer. He's a good depth player and he's a scheme fit. We don't have a linebacker behind Bobby Wagner. I don't think we need one. I mean, we went all of last season without one. At right outside linebacker, dang, Zadarius Smith is only a 74. In real life, you know, he's a lot better. But in this game, he's got a pretty sweet, generous... You know, it's not really a great rating. That's what I should have said instead of sweet and generous. That made no sense. I want Shaquem Griffin to be the starter, but I'd like to bring in someone to at least inspire some competition. I think Marquise Flowers could be that dude. Good zone coverage, good speed. The tackling is not really great. You like the strength, though. I mean, he's a decent player. I think a 2-year deal could work. At corner, I'm definitely in the market for a corner. I want a slot corner. And I'm thinking Brian Poole could be the guy. I mean, not really a true scheme fit, but I think he could be the right guy. Pretty solid across the board. Trevor Williams is not going to impress. I know that. Tony Lippett, he used to be a wide receiver. I think the catching has to be good. 80? Yeah, I think Tony Lippett's my dude. I'm going to be honest. And I know I'm giving out a lot of 2-year deals, and I know it's frustrating. but I have to, man. Cravon LeBlanc, he is a solid cornerback option as well. A young corner. He's 25 years old. There's a little bit of upside there. I'm going to offer him a 1-year deal, $2.25 million. We're just going to throw our names out there. I like what we have at safety, even though Kenny Vaccaro is a big-time upgrade. I like what we have as safety. No one's offering Maurice Alexander, so maybe I could swoop in and get Maurice Alexander. No one's offering him. So maybe I can swoop in and make a little offer. We're good at kicker and punter. Let's look at all the negotiations. So we got Frank Clark, you know, that we're looking at. Eddie Goldman, Tony Lippett, Dwayne Brown, Randy Gregory, Mo Alexander, Cliff Averill, Cravon LeBlanc, Marquise Flowers, Joshua Perry, and DJ Fluker. So, I mean, those are guys that we're looking at. We're even going to up the offer for Frank Clark. 101 points. I feel kind of confident there. Eddie Goldman, not a big-time need, but we need to up this offer. So that way we are competitive. We have a chance. Cliff Averill, your heart's in Seattle. Just choose us. Let's see if we get these guys, man. I would really like to get everybody. If we don't get, like, Cliff Averill, I think it's not the end of the world, but please let us get everybody. That'd be awesome. That'll really be step one into this whole thing. People should want to come here, though. Just saying. Okay, so Cliff Averill did reject, but we are getting... Ooh, Eddie Goldman rejected. Dwayne Brown rejected. Wow, that's interesting. So Eddie Goldman rejected, Dwayne Brown rejected. Alrighty, so we can look to sign some free agents. So we actually did clear up some money by not bringing them in. We still have our offers for LeBlanc and Perry. I do like the Randy Gregory signing a lot. Hopefully the people like it as well, the viewers. You see, now it's kind of too late to make an offer on some of these older players. I could look into Mitch Unrein from Wyoming. He's just a big run stopper. He's just a nose tackle, a guy who's going to clog up the running lanes. We really don't have any depth along the defensive line, so I mean, it is kind of a need. But not for $4 million. He's not that good. Give him a 66-point offer. At right defensive end, the Falcons are offering on Deion Jordan. I mean, they could have him. I'm pretty much done. I do like Terrell Basham. I did kind of want to look at him. Yeah, not good block shedding. He tests well pretty athletically. You could go Michael Johnson. He's a veteran player. Just a big dude. I don't think I like any of those players, but I will look into Marcus Smith. I did want to bring him back. I think that 2-year deal is reasonable. So we're just going to go ahead and back out. We're going to try to look at the scouting combine, I guess. Let's see what positions we need. They're taking me through like how to look at the combine. I'm not stupid. I've played this game long enough, don't you think? Alright, so we have one left tackle on our board, needs a 4th rounder, so I guess we'll do it like that. Left guard. Yeah, now we already scouted left guard. So center. Ooh, that center did not show out. Alright, this guy looks pretty good in the 3rd round. This guy in the 4th round looks like the real deal as well. Right guard. Ooh, that 5'6" guy didn't look too good. Right tackle, what are we looking at? Ooh, that dude in the 3rd didn't look good in his combine, did he? It's affecting his stock. I don't know if he'll be a good player or not. I don't like to read into it too much. At defensive end, I like the signings we made at defensive end. honestly, but I don't mind adding a depth guy. A depth guy. Somebody who could come in for the rotation. This 4th rounder would be finesse move. I'd like him. Yeah, he's the fastest defensive end, the most agile. Not the strongest, but that's okay. I mean, that's a speed rusher trait. You're not going to be the strongest. You win with technique. Got some decent defensive tackles. At least some bodies, you know, probably be some 74 overalls. Which, you know, it's okay. Oh, that speed rusher was terrible. What about this guy? Holy grade. 6.8. The fastest and the most agile. Okay. Brian Camarillo. That's a name. Left outside linebacker. I like this dude at the top that we scouted a while back. Not really feeling anyone else. Middle linebacker. I don't think there's one here that's worthy, but I will scout that guy. He looks like he'll be decent. B pluses across the board for DeJonta Finley. He's the fastest, the 3rd strongest, and one of the most agile. He looks like he's going to be a really good player. The pass coverage guy. It's weird that he's a pass coverage scheme fit, but zone coverage isn't in his top 3. That leads me to believe that he's probably going to be a decent athlete. At corner, I like our 3 starting corners, but I would like to look into some other ones maybe. The safety class, let's see, where was that 4th round safety? I mean, he's decent, nothing too crazy. I want to finish scouting that 5th rounder. And we have a 4th rounder there, so we're just going to go ahead and advance. I know this is probably pretty boring. This is just a maintenance episode pretty much. It's basically what it is, you know, we're just trying to get stuff done. Alright, my fault. I was looking at my phone. That's what happens. We got Cravon LeBlanc, Josh Perry, and Marcus Smith. Way to go. We filled out some good depth right there. We're going to scout some more college players, so I wanted to scout that corner. Or not that particular corner. I wanted to look into some corners with decent combines in the 4th and 5th. Okay, so not good. Not good. And that C- zone coverage. That would have been like a C. Probably would have looked at him. Okay, that guy's not good at all. Strong safety. Dang, that's crazy. Not really liking any of these options in the draft, man, honestly. I mean, I'll check out the 7th rounder. Terrible. I'm at corner. Ooh, that was a terrible player. The scouting process is pretty much done, but we are going to look at some free agents. I just want to see who's left over after the 2nd wave of free agency. So Ty Montgomery is still here. That's an interesting name. That's an interesting player. Karen Williams is still here. He's solid. TJ Yeldon. I actually like TJ Yeldon on this team. Mercedes Lewis, man. I know he's old as dirt, but he's a good blocker, man, and he's a decent enough catcher. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna offer Mercedes Lewis a deal, and he is gonna be tight end number 2 behind either Nick Vannett or Ed Dixon or Will Dissly. Regardless, Mercedes Lewis is tight end number 2. I'm just gonna make it awkward. At running back, looks like J.D. McKissick hasn't even been offered a deal, so I guess I'll swoop in and be the guy that offers him the deal. I'll do it. So hopefully we come away with Mercedes Lewis and what's his face, JD McKissick. If we do, we'll pretty much end the video. So Mitch rejected. Yeah, Mitch acting like a whole, you know what rhymes with Mitch, acting like a whole bitch. But yeah, left tackle, we are weak. I think we looked over. Ooh, this guy didn't go to the combine. He's automatically on my board. He's a baller. If you guys watch Bengal on YouTube, you know what the term baller means. He's probably a good or bad player that did not go to the combine, and I'm gonna put him on my board. I may draft him, I don't know. I may actually look into drafting him. At center, not really anything enticing. That 4th rounder could be decent. At right tackle, nothing too crazy. At defensive end, nothing really too crazy there. At the other defensive end spot, I mean, I like this guy right here. There's some intrigue. So he was the 3rd best in bench press. In terms of athleticism, he can jump, and yeah, he can jump. The 40 time is not impressive. Maybe he's a pass rushing defensive tackle. 6'5", 298. He's got B power move and C+ finesse. So I assume he's not a great, block shedding person, but neither is Frank Clark, and he's pretty versatile when it comes to power and finesse. So this guy right here, I'm not saying he will be, but he could be a poor man's Frank Clark. And he also went to Michigan State, just like Frank Clark. He could be a poor man's Frank Clark. That's where I'm getting at, people. If he is there, well, we'd have to probably trade up, but like I said, the draft is going to be its own episode. But do I trade up for him, or is that just too cool of a story that it seems like a coincidence? Alright, so that defensive tackle, no good. And yeah, that's about it. We're pretty much done scouting. Now we're done scouting. Alright, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. The next episode, of course, will be the combine. Or not the combine, what am I even saying? The next episode is going to be the draft. And it should be an interesting time. Let me guys know if you want a live stream or if you guys want a video. Let your voices be heard down in the comment section below. And peace out.